It is now time for Week 10 of the 2020 DCFL season. So we take a look at the current stands in the Eastern Conference. Indianapolis leads over Jacksonville with New York as the third seed, followed by Baltimore, Boston, and Philadelphia. And in the Western Conference, Chicago has the 4-game lead over Seattle, followed by Kansas City, Mexico City, Oakland, and San Diego. So now we take a look at the Week 10 schedule, as I'll start off with a big one, Baltimore at Seattle, followed by Kansas City at Indianapolis, then Mexico City at Jacksonville, then a big one as Chicago visits New York, then Oakland will visit Boston, and finally the Rage couple matchup as San Diego visits Philadelphia. And the Week 10 results are in as My Charm beat the Tenyo 24-13, and then Indianapolis destroyed Kansas City 50-6, ending their 3-game winning streak and getting their third straight winning season, followed by Jacksonville destroying Mexico City 38-13 to get a third straight non-losing season, and then Boston, Chicago would beat New York 20-9 to get a second straight winning season, as New York has now matched their loss total from last year. And then Oakland beats Boston 19-7 as they've now won 3 in a row. And then the Rage couple matchup as Philadelphia would make the comeback over San Diego 21-16 to end their 5-game losing streak, as San Diego has now lost 5 in a row now. So now we take a look at the Week 10 standings as Indianapolis still leads over Jacksonville by a game, with New York having the tiebreaker over Baltimore for the third seed, and Boston has the tiebreaker over Philadelphia still. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, Chicago now has a 5-game lead over Seattle, and Oakland, after winning 3 in a row, is now back in the playoff race, followed by Kansas City, Mexico City, and San Diego. And next week, if Chicago beats Seattle, and Oakland loses, they will officially clinch the playoff berth. They'll win the division with just 5 weeks left to go. My goodness. But that is it in terms of playoff implications. Now we look at the Week 11 schedules. We got our division matchups as we finish off the cycles, as Jacksonville will visit Baltimore, then the big one, Indianapolis visiting New York, and then Boston visiting Philadelphia, who's going to avoid being last place in that division, followed by Kansas City at Oakland, then Mexico City at San Diego, and then the big one as Chicago visits Seattle with the division title on the line. So that'll wrap up this week, as we're now down to our final 6 weeks of the season. Will Chicago clinch a playoff berth next week? We'll find out then, so tune in next time for Week 11.